We all join me in the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I want to remind the viewing public that the call-in number is 930-8189. 930-8189. Roll call. All are present. Item 4, acceptance of the September 30th board meeting. Yeah, motion.
I make a motion that the minutes of the September 20th meeting be approved as presented.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the September 20th meeting minutes as presented. Any discussion? Okay, then I'll call for vote. All those in favor? 3 and 2 abstentions, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. 3-0.
Item 5, acceptance of agenda.
I had one 11th hour item for doing some training for the economic development, and I do not have executive session, so 16 and 17 can come off the agenda.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
Okay, no executive session, right? Okay.
Second the motion.
Motion made and seconded to accept the agenda as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0. Item 6, public hearing to discuss GA maximums. Do I have a motion to enter, go from regular session to public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to go from our regular agenda to public hearing. All those in favor? 5-0. James, what do we have?
The 2016-2017 GA maximums are out. They do need to be approved by the board. They are set by the state. This is the opportunity for anyone in the public to comment on what the state has produced, but it is part of our ordinance, so we do have a hearing. Sue is here to answer any questions that may be coming up, either from the board or the public.
Basically, I gave you the summary sheet from last year and this year, so you could see the difference in prices. There's not much of a change. The food maximums have not changed at all. The overall maximums had increased a little bit, which means that a family of one went from they could make up to $649 for a household of one, and that was raised to $655 and so forth. So it's all on these sheets, and I also gave you, just for you to have, what all the different counties are asking for their housing maximums. I didn't know if you might want to just see what other counties were asking. And that's basically it.
What is your recommendation on these maximums? Do you think they're in line?
Well, I don't know if I think they're in line, but we have to do one.
Yeah, we don't have
Okay,
much.
We don't have any choice,
Okay,
yeah.
this is a mandate.
It is, yeah.
It's a formality.
Yeah,
Right.
It's one of the
Okay.
few ordinances we can change. We don't have
Right.
a say in it.
yeah, so,
It needs to be adopted or we have a problem.
I mean, when you look at somebody, for a household of one, $655 is not much that,
Yeah.
to make. And
Right.
if they make a little bit, 705 or something, they're over, so, it's hard for people.
Yeah. have any questions?
No. Make a motion, we accept the GA maximums.
No, can't do it.
You have to get a
Yeah,
public
you're
hearing
gonna have
first.
a public hearing.
Oh, well.
You have to exit public hearing
It's
first.
public hearing.
So I'll make a motion, we exit public hearing at this point.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to exit, public hearing on GA, back to our regular agenda. All those in favor?
Then I'll make a motion that we adopt the ordinance changes, appendices A through D.
Anyone?
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion been made and seconded to, adopt the ordinance. The amendments. Any discussion? All those in favor?
James, we just need to get them to sign it.
5-0.
Print and sign.
Getting to be no pro at this now. Not much to it, but,
No,
but still.
if I had a rubber stamp in front of me, I'd be literally,
I know.
I'm on a few almost literal rubber stamps. You have to.
Item A on our agenda, 8 rather, open to public. Anyone from the public care to speak? Ma'am?
Okay, my name is Beth French. I'm a local property taxpayer here in Searsport. I have a son that is a Searsport District High School alumni. I have a son that is at Searsport District Middle School, and I have a son that's at Searsport Elementary School. And I'm coming here tonight to urge you to support question 2, referendum question 2. I'm not sure how much information you've had on that question, so I thought I'd come here tonight to give you a little bit of info about our Stand Up for Students campaign. Question 2 proposes a 3% surcharge tax on household incomes over $200,000. So the first $200,000 of earnings is exempt. That money would then be used in the essential programs and services funding formula model at the state level. And it would run a second time through the funding formula, which would then go to our local property tax base here in Searsport, in our school system, so that we would have an easier time building our local school budget. We're in a pretty good position here in Searsport. We're anticipating that the portion that Searsport and Stockton as RSU 20 would receive would be approximately $600,000 if question 2 passes, if it's supported. So I urge you to consider that, taking a position of support. It's the right thing to do by our students, and it would also make creating our local property, our local school budget a lot easier if the state is paying their fair share. So you can gain more information by visiting the standupforstudents.org website. My name is Beth French. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. And I do have some information that I can leave with you, but thank you for giving me an opportunity just to share the information tonight and to urge you to support a yes on question 2.
Thank you
Thank
for taking the time.
Sure, thank you. It's the right thing to do by my kids and all of our kids, so thank you.
Thanks for coming up. Thank you for coming.
Yep, no problem. I can get that sheet tomorrow.
The board have any comments or questions for the lady?
No? Okay.
Okay, then I can leave these with you.
I know I pretty much made up my mind.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
I'll give it to him. He'll
I
never
do
give
have
it
to
to us.
put my boys to bed. They have school tomorrow, so I'm gonna go home, but thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Take one and pass it to him. Now you can have the rest.
Item 9, no business. Declaration of Major Smith Day.
Sorry about the memo, it still says Route 1, but it's, Jack brought this forward and wanted on the agenda so that we could actually designate, at least on the local level, Major Smith's Day, 10/20. October 20th is when he saved the town of Searsport back many years ago.
Yeah, my thought was, and this is a thought of several others here in town, to keep this from getting lost in history. For us to designate that day to him. It's just formality, something we can put on the town website, put the town records, just so like I said, so it won't be lost. So I'm gonna make a motion that, this board declare that every, October 20th be Major Kenneth G. Smith Day here in Searsport.
What's the full name of the individual? Major what?
Major Kenneth G. Smith.
I'll second the motion.
Good idea, Jack.
This is a guy that crashed the plane.
Right, down Mill Street, yep. Motion been made and seconded, any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call a vote, all those in favor? 5-0.
I will actually get,
Thank you, board.
I will get some good paper, Aaron, and make a proclamation.
At least
that we can
24
si-
weight, at least.
That we can sign, and I'll put it, put it on the wall out here.
Terrific.
And just like, Colonel, McGilvery did, we'll just keep it floating around here.
Thank you. I thank the board for the vote. 9B, discuss the Historic Preservation Committee, to a commission.
I don't expect there will be a vote on this, maybe some more discussion. Our Historic Preservation Committee has been meeting. They met with some officials from Augusta, have been, George and Marie have been to a conference where this is a big, pretty heavy topic of discussion. And they're looking at the possibility with the board's agreement, if you do, to change from a committee to a commission. The documents are provided. It would require an ordinance change, which would have to go before town meeting. I've urged Marie to not dig too deep, to actually just give the essence of what she wants to do in the ordinance, and then fill in a later date greater details, because we have to know that the people want to do this. One of the things that we're seeing in town is there's been a lot of improvements to buildings, which are actually starting to move them a little bit further away from the historic nature. They had a very productive meeting last week with Tom Gosi, who served on Bangor's Historic Preservation Committee. And he painted a really interesting picture for us that it serves like a board, planning board, but it works with contractors to give them recommendations and approve improvements that make it keep the historic nature of buildings. So it's only preliminary, it's only part of the discussion, and I'd love to see it tabled to a workshop to get in a little more depth.
Yeah, I think it needs to be tabled.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, 'cause I definitely wanna go
I
over
don't
what
know
little
what's about.
information in this packet.
Yeah, there's a lot to absorb, and
And also, I think it might be well at the workshop, like if Tom could be there to tell us what they did in Bangor so we could hear.
I think that
Yeah.
would be really good. And I also have warned that it's a pretty healthy commitment
Right,
of the folks, and I have concerns about being able to sustain that commitment into the next generation and the generation after that. And I also have a real strong sense of property rights of owners.
Right.
So I wouldn't even advocate it if I thought we were stripping rights from property owners. But at least, like I say, what was explained by Tom, it certainly did not sound that way at all. It was more informative and guiding to local contractors. There are contractors in town even that do this for a living, and they maintain historic character. Yet there are others that, slapping up a piece of plywood and painting it whatever color
Right.
they want is good enough for them. So there's a balance, and it definitely doesn't need to be decided till we talk it out in great length.
I'm very concerned about
number L and how it's gonna be used.
Number what,
L,
L?
looks like another round of something we gotta go through.
My first thoughts, of course, this is just laid on the table tonight, is if you have to do some modifications to the building, make it meet the needs of the tenant or the landlord, are you gonna leave it vacant because you can't make them changes, or how do you
Yeah,
work this?
more discussion needs to,
Yeah, more,
definitely more discussion, and I will see if Tom can come to the workshop.
I just want another comment that I need people to think about. Some of these old buildings that are 150 years old, just, it'd be wonderful if you could restore them, fix them up. The way they're built, it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's just not viable. And that's the way it is. It's not gonna change. I'm very concerned about some of this.
I think it's worth a workshop discussion. for
Right.
sure,
Yeah, and I think I'd like to see
To explore those issues.
some of the, the preservation committee at the workshop to.
Yep.
To get out, to shoot ideas back and forth.
So I'll make a motion we table to the next scheduled workshop.
Second.
A motion been made and seconded to table this till, after a workshop. Any discussion? All in favor? 5-0. 10, 11th hour, James.
Yeah, I'm looking for approval to send Dean Bennett down to a port program actually being held next week. I was just made aware of it, and it actually talks about the development in ports. And one of the very interesting things in it, and the reason I'd like to have him down there, is there's a 2-hour session on foreign trade zones and how they function. But to send somebody to school costs money. I would like an authorization of $1,500 from the TIF fund to do it. Definitely is TIF related, economic development and TIF related.
I make a motion that we authorize up to $1,500 to send Mr. Bennett to the port program from the TIF fund.
second,
Motion been made and seconded to, $1,500 send, D. Bennett to Portland for a port program. Any discussion?
Seems like a no-brainer.
All those in favor? 5-0, James. 11, correspondence.
It would help if I brought my coffee in with me, but for some reason I didn't.
You want one?
Yeah, thanks. There are a couple of items in correspondence, mostly thank yous. Thank you from the Waldo County YMCA for the support that Searsport gave them at town meeting. Obviously the checks went out. New Hope for Women is thanking us for our contribution at town meeting, $1,325. They also included some statistics at a glance, and I've included that. And the Sexual Support Services of Mid-Coast Maine, town meeting authorized $1,000 to them, and they thank us for it. The next item is from Aging Well in Waldo County. And this is not a thank you, this is an introduction. And they have a meeting coming up on October 26th at the Waldo Community Building out in Waldo. And they'd like an RSVP if you're interested. This is to try to help people to better age in place. Older folks that live in their homes to see what can be done to help them stay and provide the support and safe community. Coming event. And the next item is from Hubba, And the Head of Bay organization is doing the networking event that Mark had mentioned in the last meeting. This is their flyer for it. It will be October 20th from 5 to 7 p.m. right here upstairs, and they're going to be launching their computer stuff. So that's the official invitation to it.
Item 12, treasurer's warrants, I'll take a motion on those.
I'll move we approve that pending our signatures.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the treasurer's warrants, pending signatures. All those in favor? Five down. Town manager report.
Yes, the Public Works Department continues to work on several projects over the past month. They put a lot of time into the library's back ramp and steps. This project is almost complete. Wellman paving returned and paved more on the Black Road South and a portion of Prospect Street. They were not able to get to the wharf ramp yet. Larry McKinney's been out ill, and the regular crew members have been covering the transfer station. Nothing to report in wastewater. Over at the library, the staff is doing well. Norm Otis has started the project of scraping and painting already. He reports that the progress is going well. We were kind of concerned about the condition of the wood, but I've been monitoring that pretty closely. There's not a lot of damage. The ambulance responded to 51 calls for service in September. The crews did 4 interfacility transfers and 2 ALS intercepts. At this point, we are 68 calls ahead of this time last year. The EMT class seems to be running smoothly, and both ambulances are running good. The fire department responded to 14 calls for service and issued 28 burn permits in September. The chief reports that he was able to get the second Jaws of Life repaired at a very reasonable cost. We did sign for the new rescue truck, and it is currently at the radio shop. In code enforcement, Randy's been very busy every day. He tells that there are several building permits out, and the majority of them, 5 in fact, are for new garages in town. I went with Randy and Andy Webster to attend their building inspections for Ron Merithew's new business and the Dollar General. They are both now open for business. The police department responded to 220 calls for service during the month of September. All vehicles are up to date on service and running well. The chief attended the right to know hearings in September. He is also now the second vice chairman of the Maine Chiefs of Police Association. In recreation, Carrie and I both attended the RSU 20 with RSU 20 officials and members of this after-school program to see what new recreation after-school program might look like. We still have a lot of work to do, and Carrie did a great job with planning and preparation for the fling and fall. Now I can add in execution too, because it went off very well. In the town hall, we hired Katie Treat for a deputy clerk position. She seems to be adapting well. The election is already started with absentee voting. The cemetery committee met, and we talked about developing a work plan for 2017. Committee members will be gathering information on deficiencies and reporting them to me over the next couple of months. I hope to use this work to develop a budget and address the problems. The Historic Preservation Committee met last month and continued their discussions about becoming a commission. This would require Board of Selectmen's approval on ordinance changes.
The town manager report.
I'll move we accept it.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the town manager report. All those in favor? 5-0. Hey, James. Selectmen's reports. Aaron.
Nothing this week.
Mark.
Yes, I'd like to, first of all, I'd like to mention this again, the harbor networking event. If you have a business anywhere in Searsport, you really should be at this event. They're going to launch this website. There's been a lot of hours of work put into it, and I think it's well worth for any business, whether it's a lawyer's office or any type of business at all, can get on this free website and get it set up. So I cannot encourage you more to be in attendance to this meeting if at all possible. The only other thing I have is that I did get a call from a very angry resident of Searsport who was very unhappy. because, Route 1 is closed for the parade, and, not my views, but I'm just relaying what was told to me. They were very unhappy that it was a parade that held up traffic, and they claimed that the detour was a problem for them, even though they live right here in town. So I'm just relaying what I was told.
Isn't it?
That's it.
Doug?
I'd like to thank the people who worked very hard putting the hay and pumpkins and scarecrows up for Fling in the Fall. And at the same time, thank the beautification committee for their work downtown and making downtown so beautiful as it was all summer.
Beautification committee is gonna be holding a meeting in the next couple of weeks probably. I get a hold of Faith, she was gonna work on the letter, she gets that letter ready, we'll meet. Anybody who would like to join the beautification committee? We have some vacancies. And that's all I have. I would like to say, I believe that a lot of work went into this thing in the fall. I think they had some good things. I managed to get to most of them, and there's something for everybody all day long, and that is good. That's it.
I'd like to add that the music was really good.
Yes, that's a great group. that
Very
they got.
enjoyed,
Yeah.
yes.
I just wanna say that, yesterday, several of us went up to, Ronnie Marathu's new garage, ribbon cutting ceremony. They're very pleased to have us. Good crowd there, the whole day was full. And I believe a week from this Saturday is gonna be one at the Dollar General.
What time?
I don't know, that's.
Yeah, it's not, that hasn't quite been determined.
A week from this Saturday.
Week.
Yeah,
Week
they,
from
they've
Saturday.
had, they have an interim manager and then a permanent manager, and we've constantly communicated with them, and soon, they don't wanna do anything till they actually have their grand opening, and that's fine by us, just let us know.
And also, just for the board's knowledge, I'm gonna be going to Bangor Thursday to the main municipal convention. That's all I have. Any call from the public, James?
Nothing.
No executive session? So 18 is
I'll move adjourn.
Second.
motion made, seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Thank you.